Hello and welcome to the sneak peek of the Artists Forum Festival of the Moving Image 2020. I'm Rebecca L. Hargrove, co-host of the Artists Forum TV on MNN, and today I'm joined by my co-host, Michael Inge.
Hey, Rebecca.
Hey.
As ambassadors of this year's film festival, we would like to share with you what you can expect from our 2020 lineup.
The Artists Forum Festival of the Moving Image returns for its 5th year of new, innovative programming. This festival is a competitive program that allows filmmakers to have a platform to share their stories with the world's creative, media, and filmmaking communities.
For the first time, our festival will be available exclusively online. To expand our global reach, we're excited to announce that we're partnering with international screening platform Smart Cinema USA. The Smart Cinema USA app will be available on cross-platform devices, including iOS and Android mobile phones and smart TVs. Online screenings will be available from October 16th through November 12th, 2020, ending with our award ceremony on November 14th, 2020. For tickets and for more information, visit us at theartistsforum.org.
The Artists Forum Festival of the Moving Image 2020 will showcase 42 short films with filmmakers representing 16 different countries. The film festival requires that films present innovative vision and unique perspectives in 30 minutes or less.
Each year, the festival highlights a wide variety of categories, such as narrative, experimental, documentary, comedy, animation, and music videos. This year, the festival will feature a new special themed category, New York Stories. Here's a look at our 2020 official trailer.
Makes you think you're separate from the equation.
What equation?
Accountability, Ray. You really think that you're somehow separate? That you're protected from the damage?
The 2020 festival will be divided into 4 individual programs. Each program will be available to stream for 1 week only, so we encourage you to plan accordingly. Program 1, Search for Belonging, consists of 9 international short films available from October 16th to the 22nd. In these films, filmmakers display characters who are seeking solace, family, or a home to call their own. They embrace their curiosities by either running to or away from their obstacles in hopes of a happier outcome. Let's hear what one filmmaker had to say.
Hi, my name is Evan Cutler Waddles. I am a filmmaker based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and New York, New York. The title of my film is Keep Me.
You want to... Oh, beer. Do you want beer?
Yeah,
beer. Yeah, whiskey?
Keep Me is the story of a one-night stand which turns into an intimate experience far more powerful and intense than either of its 2 participants could have ever predicted. The production resulted in the best filmmaking experience of my life. The real challenge came in the edit. I had to take an axe to it, and I had to boil it down to what the story was ultimately about, which is these 2 people dealing with things they don't necessarily want to deal with. This is my first experience with being a part of the Artists Forum, and I could not be more thrilled to see my film listed alongside some of these other really incredible and far superior pieces of art. And I'm just really honored to be here and be a part of this.
Again, you can see that film along with 8 other international short films, October 16th through the 22nd. Program 1, Search for Belonging.
Program 2, Agents of Chaos, consists of 10 international short films available October 23rd through October 29th, 2020. The title says it all. Stories of broken political promises, espionage, sex trafficking, sexual assault, toxic masculinity, murder, and genocide all sum up this body of work. Messages from these filmmakers should be kept in mind before stuffing the ballot box this year. Let's hear what one filmmaker had to say.
Hi, I'm Katie Colosimo. I'm a filmmaker and video editor based in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm also the writer-director of Realize Your Dreams.
Adversity have been overcome and lives have changed forever. I've met people all around our country who can share their stories of hard work and fighting odds that have been stacked against them.
Realize Your Dreams is an experimental look at the isolated Midwest. It's kind of a film about American values in a sense. Through empty words and empty images, it questions traditional values of safety, community, and leadership. Probably the most challenging parts were shooting it on Super 8 and just handheld, so I had to make sure that I had a very steady hand while shooting it. It's so important to just keep making things, even if it doesn't turn out exactly how you wanted it to. There should be no shame in getting better. I'm very excited to be a part of the Artist Forum. I think that it's really cool that there's a community that is geared towards unconventional and new types of filmmaking, and I think that's really exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone else has involved in the festival.
Again, you can see this and the other 9 films from Program 2, Agents of Chaos, October 23rd through October 29th, 2020.
Program 3, Tales of the Heart, consists of 12 international short films available from October 30th to November 5th. These filmmakers are showing narratives that tell multiple facets of the love story. Stories of love, desire, feelings of loneliness, and betrayal. Let's hear what one filmmaker had to say.
I'm Jeff Ray, filmmaker from East Lansing, Michigan, and the name of my film is Songs for My Right Side.
I'm not back. What the hell you call yourself doing?
What?
Last night my friend had 2 flat tires on his truck.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
You did it.
What? I don't know what
you're lying. I could always tell when you're lying. That's how I know you cheated on me. You can't lie worth a damn.
Songs for My Right Side is a drama about Roger Smith, a middle-aged, middle-class black man who has brought harm to his relationship. He has stepped out on his partner of 20 years, and at the same time, he's got this pain on the right side of his body. I think one of the interesting things about the film is, like any independent filmmaker, in an effort to solve a problem, not having a location, we shot some of the film at my house. And I always tell people, don't let filmmakers come in your house and shoot film, because we know what the deal is. And so my wife, my partner, was not very happy about that, having a film crew at our house. But she allowed it, and I think my house looks pretty gorgeous in the film. I was looking at places where I just would like my film to show, and I came across the Artist Forum, and it just looked wonderful. And I think it seems like the name artist epitomizes what it's all about, because so many festivals or venues want your film to sit into a certain niche. But the Artist Forum seems like kind of my favorite thing, in that it's open, it's kind of a free-for-all, and all it's interested in is art. And so some of my filmmaking friends from New York just advised me that it's really, truly a great kind of venue to show your work. So I'm happy to be in it.
Again, you can see this film along with 11 other international short films between October 30th and November 5th for Tales of the Heart.
Program 4, Acute Stress Response, consists of 11 international short films and is available from November 6th through November 12th, 2020. In our final program, the stress of living in our modern world triggers the fight or flight response to the extreme. Panic, road rage, bitter angst, fantasy, escapism, and parallel timelines. Let's hear what one filmmaker had to say.
My name is Mark Klubberg. I am a filmmaker based out of New Jersey, and I am the writer and director of the short film, The Time in Between the Seconds.
Hey, didn't I warn you? Back up!
It's okay, Sam. He won't do it. You are not a bad person. I can see it in your eyes. Everything is going to be okay.
The Time in Between the Seconds focuses on a young woman named Wendy who is shot in a violent convenience store robbery in the beginning of the film. I wanted to explore the idea of giving up your own life for someone you love. Who would do that and why? Wendy, in certain scenes, had a large gash on her chin and then a full brace on her arm, where in other scenes she would only have maybe a small scar on her chin or a smaller brace on the arm. So we had to keep a log of which scenes happened in which part of the timeline, and then how Wendy would look based on the different injuries that she experiences throughout the film. When I got the email notifying us that we were going to be part of the Artist Forum this year, I was beyond grateful. I've been to a lot of festivals over the last few years, and sometimes festivals might be a little concerned more about which celebrities are going to show up, how big the after parties are, things like that. The Artist Forum really seems to focus on the film and the artists and the filmmakers behind it, and that's very important to us. So absolutely blessed to be a part of it this year.
Again, you can see this and the 10 other films from Program 4, Acute Stress Response, November 6th through November 12th, 2020. And here's a word from the Artists Forum president and founder.
Thank you, Michael and Rebecca. The Artists Forum established its Festival of the Moving Image to provide an intimate alternative for both emerging and mid-career filmmakers outside the traditional Hollywood community. We are committed to producing an unparalleled opportunity for independent filmmakers to be seen and heard in the formidable New York City and international arts and media markets. We are very excited about our 5th year entries, a selection of original films by extraordinary filmmakers, including several premieres. We invite our audiences to discover yourself by exploring new interests through the art of cinema. We'd like to welcome our new partner, Smart Cinema USA, and the opportunity they provide us to showcase the work of our filmmakers worldwide by using their mobile app. To purchase your festival tickets, please visit theartistforum.org. There you can also find detailed descriptions of the individual films within each program. We encourage you to join the conversation by posting your reactions to this year's festival.
Thank you, Amos. The Artists Forum, now in its 22nd year, is a New York City-based nonprofit arts service organization specializing in events, juried competitions, and media for artists. Its Festival of the Moving Image is the organization's flagship program.
The Artist Forum Festival of the Moving Image is funded in part by a grant from the NYC & Company Foundation. You can stay connected and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Vimeo, and YouTube at The Artist Forum.
Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the festival.
My name is Adam Engel. I am a filmmaker from Kew Gardens, New York, and my film is the Huame Orchestra documentary. It is about 20 former orchestra members who have now, for the first time in 20 years, come to America, and they're going to perform. The challenges for this film, I'm typically a narrative filmmaker, so this was my first ever documentary, which meant that I didn't really have control over anything. So I really had to just rely on body language and just sort of follow a story in my head until the shooting was over and I got the transcript, and then the story really started to pick up and into something that I'm very, very, very proud of. I'm on my 4th feature right now, and I've done a bunch of smaller projects. And what I could say is you can't really wait for anybody. You can't really wait for anybody's go-ahead. Everybody has a camera. And if you have an imagination, you just go ahead.
Hi, my name is Breton. I currently reside in Far Rockaway, Queens in New York, and my project is Project 28. Is about an employee who works at a broadcasting television company and takes his daily routine that gets influenced by music and then has to pay through the consequences. An issue occurring throughout my shoot was the fact that you have to have what's called crunch time, where you're taking whatever time you can to go from scenes and locations with a lot of equipment, making sure that everybody is on task and performing as best as they can. So you want to really make sure that you are very handy with time management so things could go smoothly. Being a part of the Artist Forum and Festival of Moving Images was fantastic. Not only because I had to keep on with having to deliver some kind of content and then get accepted into a film festival, but it was also a world premiere for something that I just felt great to show along to my peers and other people around the world. The most precious advice that I can give to any filmmaker or any artist that's out there is just to do what it is that you want to do, because you never know who's going to be your audience, who's actually going to enjoy and be moved by what it is that you make. You have an idea, don't let it go to waste.
My name is Cinder Chou. I am a filmmaker based in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm the writer-director of The Man with the Western Hat. The Man with the Western Hat is about a young woman named Anna who begins to see a handsome cowboy wandering the streets of Brooklyn, the cowboy from the fictional Western that she's recently become obsessed with. As she's trying to find out who he is, it reveals more about her journey and who she is and what she needs to do. 2/3 of the film is shot outside in Prospect Park. Definitely weather was a concern. We were worried that it was going to be really cold, but during the 3 days that we filmed, it was 70-degree weather, so I guess thanks global warming, or not. As a female filmmaker, I try not to think about it too much, because if someone has a problem with me being female, that's kind of their problem, not mine. You just try to focus on the work and do the best that you can do, and everything else is just a distraction. When I first heard about the Artists Forum Festival of the Moving Image, I was really intrigued by the moving image part, because it called to mind, you know, the early days of cinema when it was just moving pictures. And it's very clear that the films selected here are about, you know, doing something different. And it feels great to be part of a film festival that celebrates individuality. My advice for emerging filmmakers would be to write what you want to see. You want to create a world that you haven't seen before, a reflection of a different experience.
I'm Julian Olariu. I'm a filmmaker. My film is Tales from Jellyfish Nebula. It's experimental film. You have much possibilities. You have the sound, the moving image, the music, the words. And you can transpose all your mental situations in a real object like a film. I was very happy to work with him, because he can understand my feelings. It's a very good editor, but he is an artist also. I have an only actor, it's an insect. And the film is beginning with an old photo. It's a part of my childhood in a strange country a long time ago. This film is not, you do not need to research the real action, because it's constructed like a dream. It's alive, it's in permanent transformation, it's never finished. I'm very proud to participate at this festival. I've seen very good films, very strong films. For a filmmaker, I think a lot of work. You have a lot of influence of image around you. You got to work and to believe in your idea.
You can film with an iPhone, you can film with every device. So it's easy to make film, but the sense is the very most important thing.
My name is Servera, filmmaker from the Bronx, New York. My film that's playing at the Artist Forum is High and Tight. High and Tight is a film that follows an ex-cop who committed a double homicide several years ago, and he returns to his hometown to get a haircut, and that's where I'm going to leave it. I think with any film you do, there's a lot of challenges, but the biggest challenge for this project was there's a big sequence where the barber's giving the antagonist a haircut. So that sequence was super difficult to shoot because you only get one take for cutting hair. The way I storyboarded everything was sort of like an action film or a dance. We didn't really waste any shots. Being a part of the Artist Forum Festival of the Moving Image has been really awesome. A big reason why we submitted, we thought this festival seems to be more catered for artists beyond just your traditional narrative filmmakers. It was great to see our films amongst completely other different types of films and genres. Filmmaking is traditionally a very expensive medium. If you're more on the shooting side, production side, like myself, we have phones that shoot great quality. You know, you could just take, hour, half hour of your time just to practice the art of cinema.
I'm Raquel Cedar, and I'm a Brooklyn-based filmmaker and screenwriter. I wrote and directed the film Sam and Joe.
I'm Karen Eilbacher. I live in Brooklyn, New York all the way, and I acted in the film Sam and Joe by Raquel Cedar.
Sam and Joe is an experimental thriller about a young couple who go away for their first trip together. On the trip, Sam starts to feel an itch in her hair that she cannot get the scratch. She just can't reach it. What ends up happening is the only way to escape the scratch is to escape her girlfriend. So I'm extremely lucky to work with incredibly talented people like Karen. They were extremely game to come with me to the middle of the woods in upstate New York and film this film, but with going to the woods comes working with the elements, and while we were in the middle of filming, we encountered a huge summer thunderstorm. Ultimately, it became a great plot twist within the film. Some advice that I would have for filmmakers like us is just keep making films. Make them quick, make them dirty, treat them as exercises, because you never stop learning, and the more films you make, the more you'll learn, and the better your next film will be. We were so lucky that Sam and Joe got to participate in a lot of film festivals this year and had a great reception. But there was something really special about the Artist Forum Film Festival for us, because it was a really intimate community. The Q&A was really informative and interesting. All the filmmakers were extremely supportive.
People were willing to shake hands and exchange names and contact information for a future to become of whatever it may become. So I'm really thankful to have met the Artist Forum.
I'm Shwenn. I came from Taiwan, and I'm a motion graphic designer and multi-dimensional artist. And I present my animation short film, Inspiration Day. My short film is talk about how to find lasting love in real life nowadays. So my challenge about my production part is because this film is my first animation short film, and it's also my graduation film from School of Visual Art. So I need to finish everything at the same time, like modeling, rigging, and texturing, animation, and even if like compositing, editing, everything. The reason why I want to submit my film, I just want to share my opinion about relationship and love. The Artist Forum is from New York, so it's a best opportunity and best platform for me to show my film to everyone. Just follow your heart. Everything will be new for you because it's unique from yourself. So I think just follow your heart and do what you want to do, so you could make a good film.
Hello, my name is Stephan Hilyard. I'm a British artist living in Madison, Wisconsin. My piece in the film festival is called Katyusha. Katyusha is a 3-channel experimental movie about the community of Pyrmida, showcase community where 1,000 men, women and children lived as a way of proving the superiority of the Soviet system over its Western rivals. So the story that Katyusha tells is bittersweet, and it's told via 2 fictional lovers, a basketball player and a ballerina. And we meet them at 2 different times, and we jump back and forth uncontrollably between these 2 times. And I focused on the camera moving out, constantly moving out and leaving things and people behind. One of the quirks of shooting in Pyrmida is that you are in an archipelago of islands where there are way more polar bears than people. So throughout the time that I was filming at Pyrmida, I was carrying a rifle at all times, which was an unusual way of working for me. This is the first of the film festivals I've shown it in that I've been able to attend. So I'm actually thrilled to be here, and it's a wonderful experience to see your work in front of an audience and to have that kind of sense of community of being around other filmmakers, which doesn't exist when you're in a darkened room full of equipment for several years putting it together. My advice to filmmakers or prospective filmmakers would be that be prepared for a marathon. You are getting into a way of working that needs a lot of stamina and commitment to your vision and your obsession.
I'm Viktor Witkowski. I'm originally from Poland, but I grew up in Germany. And I immigrated to the US about 10 years ago. And the film I was presenting here is called Refuge. I went to Germany in early 2016 when about 1.1 million refugees, mainly from Syria, had arrived there. And I decided to film the situation on the ground. The most challenging aspect of the production was that I was doing everything by myself. So I was the cameraman, I was the director, I was the sound person. And at the end, there's no dialogue. So I had to come up with a way to basically communicate to an audience the different conflicted feelings that those newly arrived people were experiencing. I knew I did not want to have individual stories, but at the same time I wanted to communicate as much as possible through the images. Being part of the Artist Forum Film Festival has been a really great experience. The fact that it's called the Artist Forum, and of course it attracts many people who identify as artists or have an artist take to the medium of film. Unique voices, different ways and styles of making a film, and there have been no repetitions really, and some really truly nice surprises. Do not try to make the same film twice. Try to keep challenging yourself. Try to experiment, try to go further, and kind of embrace the unexpected and see where that takes you.